Good morning, everybody. This is just Carl reporting from the road again. Been a while, and I have a lot to catch up on. I'm probably going to break this down into a couple of videos, post them over some time, so just bear with me on that. So to start off with, I finished my training, and then I was released. I stayed in Atlanta for a few days while I got a new driver. It was good to be home, and I was able to spend time with some friends, catch up on gaming and movies and whatnot. I got to see Deadpool while I was in town. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It is a very adult movie. First of all, it is an R-rated. It's not the kind of R-rated that you can still kind of bring your kids in a little bit. No, this is a hard R, and it's very adult. It's very deviant, but it's very well written and very funny. So if you're not sensitive to those kind of things, I highly recommend it. If you are sensitive, you should just take a pass on it. After being in town for about 4 days, I was assigned a truck and a new partner. The truck was in the Atlanta drop yard, so I took a cab down there, picked up a truck, picked up a trailer for delivery, and I went on my first run out of training. From there, I drove on to Augusta, Georgia, where my new partner lives, and parked it at a truck stop. It was late at night, so I wasn't going to have him show up that night. I did send him a message that I was in, and he was going to hook up with me like 10 o'clock in the morning. We had gotten a load assigned to us, picking up in South Carolina, driving to Pennsylvania. This is where the story goes a little sideways. I had a bad feeling about him from the first thing he said to me, aside from hello. He wanted to make sure that if we went out for 3 weeks only, that would be fine. When I talked to him on the phone, he was talking about staying out for 5 or 6 weeks. I was like, well, that might be a little long for my first try out. How about 4 weeks, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll stay a little longer. He said, fine, on the phone. Now, when I'm seeing him, it's all about staying out for 3 weeks. I said, okay, well, let's try that and just see how it works, and we'll work on from there. We load up. He says he forgot something at the house, and he goes back to the house. He'll be right back. While he's at the house, our orders change, and instead of picking up in South Carolina, going to Pennsylvania, we're picking up in another location in Georgia and going to a different location in Pennsylvania. The Georgia pickup is about a 3-hour drive from where we're at, and we don't have to be there until the next day, and we have the entire day to pick it up, and we have like 3 days to drive to Pennsylvania to drop it off. So he shows back up. His fiance is driving. I grab his attention. I'm like, hey, before she peels out, we're not leaving until the morning. What I tried to point out, our options were to go ahead and pre-position at the site or leave in the morning, and he just cut me off, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll see, I'll be back in the morning. I tried to stress, getting here early, and he said he'd be here at 5 in the morning. All right, go enjoy your home time, and I'll see you in the morning. So 5 o'clock rolls around, doesn't show up. 6 o'clock rolls around, hasn't shown up. I give him a call, I leave a message. 8 o'clock rolls around, I give him a call, leave a message. I get a text back from his fiancée that she's waking. 9 o'clock rolls around, nothing. 9:30 rolls around, I give him another call. Finally talk to him. He's just getting out of bed. He'll be here around 10. 11 o'clock rolls around, he finally shows up. I'm a little pissed, but I'm letting it slide. This is somebody I'm going to be basically living in a shoebox with for, the next 3 weeks, possibly longer, and we have to work together well and whatnot. So I'm going to let this one slide. It really doesn't really matter as long as we get to the pickup point before 2 o'clock. But wait, the math is wrong. Because if we're leaving at 11 and it's a 3-hour drive, we don't have a whole lot of room for error. But he's an experienced driver. He's confident that we can get there in time. All right, he's going to go ahead and do the driving. He'll be able to do it faster than I will. I'm like, okay. I go back into the sleeper to get some sleep because I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning. And he goes off driving. He took a different route than was suggested, which brought us through Atlanta to get to our location, which was not necessary, and had to deal with Atlanta traffic. Coincidentally, we were running late. I get up, we're in Atlanta traffic. I'm like, hey, where we're at? It's like, well, we're on our way. I'm like, okay, look at the time. Are we going to be able to make this in time? It's like, yeah, we'll be fine. All right. I'll wait a little bit longer. We're not going to make it in time. Sure enough, we're 45 minutes past our window. Luckily, this wasn't a problem at the shipper. We go ahead and get the stuff, and he drives on out. We park for the night. We're not in a big hurry, and we settle in. We're parked for like 15 minutes when the alarms for the air pressure go off, indicating that we're at a dangerously low air pressure level. It's fine for being parked, but if we are actually moving, it's a problem. I try to build pressure back up. I get it back up. It takes longer than it should. As soon as I stop pushing air into the system, the needle just starts. You can see the needle drop. So that's a problem. We check it out. Somewhere along the line, we busted an airbag. Airbags are used to help provide suspension, but they're fed off the same system that controls the air brakes. If we lose too much air, the air brakes lock, and we can't do anything. If they lock while we're driving, it causes some problems. So we go ahead and report that in. Busted airbag. They're going to set up for a mechanic in the morning. My partner drove all day, so I agree that I'll be the guy that handles it in the morning, and we'll get it taken care of. Mechanic shows up. He does a bypass of the airbag, so we can drive to the mechanic shop. We don't get out of there until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We've lost a half a day. We've still got plenty of time, but there was the hope that we'd be able to drop this off early, so we wouldn't have to sit in Pennsylvania for a couple of days. So we get that repair done. We get back on track. We get to Pennsylvania, and we're in Pennsylvania. It's a small lot in Pennsylvania, muddy, dirty. Fortunately, there was a pizza place across the street and a dollar store, so I was able to, buy some provisions at the dollar store relatively cheap. They are crap provisions, but they are cheap, and that first week back, I wasn't expecting to make a lot of money because I wasn't doing a lot of driving. So I was able to resupply and had a meal or two at the pizzeria, which had free Wi-Fi, and we stayed there for 2.5 days. Day comes that we roll out to the delivery point. We go ahead and do that. Quakertown, Pennsylvania, this quaint little Pennsylvania rural town. That's just kind of a nifty little town. It is a bitch to drive through because all the streets are super tight and it's just not really designed for big rigs to go through. We get to the delivery point. Our window of delivery is between 8 and 5. We show up around noon and nobody there. We can't get them on the phone. Dispatch has no answers for us. We're just sitting around. Eventually, I'm able to get the client on the phone. We said between 4 and 5. We can't be there, so we'll be there at 4. So we sit for several hours. During this period of time, my partner has a huge argument on the phone with his fiancée. And as soon as he's done with that, he starts talking about how he needs to get back home. So I'm thinking we'll go ahead and do our next load that we have scheduled after this and have our dispatch route us back to Augusta. I'll drop him off, and then I'll hang out for a day or two while he takes care of whatever it is that he has to take care of. Then the client finally shows up. We get it in, and the customer starts offloading. While we're sitting there waiting, my partner starts talking about how he needs to get paid more if he's going to be training me on how to do stuff, and if not, he's just going to go home. He'd never complained about my driving up until that point in time, and it's just awfully coincidental that happened like an hour or two after he starts getting into this argument and having to go home anyway for whatever reason with his fiancée. And he starts communicating back with dispatch about wanting more pay, or he's going to go home. We get finished up with a delivery. He's driving out. We have another pickup in a few hours in New Jersey. We got plenty of time to get there, but we need to just kind of go. So he's going to go ahead and drive out. I'm going back in the sleeper just to kind of chill. A few hours pass and we stop at a truck stop. Okay, where we're at. He says we're south onto whatever interstate we were at. And I realize that's the opposite direction that we need to be going in. So I ask him about it. He's like, well, going back home to Augusta. I'm like, okay, did you talk to dispatch about it? Yeah, I did. You talk to them and they know that we're going and they're okay. So yeah. And I kind of left it at that. My instinct said that there was something fishy going on, but I didn't really pursue it. I just didn't pursue it. I should have, but I didn't. We get to Augusta, dark 30 in the morning, pull up in front of his house. He doesn't even say a word to me. He just grabs his stuff and goes. So he takes off. I go ahead and park. I end up parking in the same lot that I was at when I originally picked him up. I send an email to my dispatch asking him to give me a call as soon as he gets this because I'm a little confused and a little frustrated. And I try to get a couple hours of sleep. Dispatch calls, hot as hell. Because my partner never talked to dispatch. Not only did he not talk to it, he didn't cancel the load we were supposed to pick up, didn't get permission to drive back to Augusta, all sorts of things. He's hot as hell, rightfully so. I'm feeling like a big idiot because I knew better. I own up to knowing better and that I should have done something. There was not a whole lot I could have done, but I at least could have notified dispatch. And I should have done that. Needless to say, my partner is no longer with the company, and I'm sitting in Augusta now for my second day, waiting for information about a new partner. I did spend yesterday calling up prospective partners. They're supposed to give us a list of people. We call those people, talk to them, talk about some issues, and figure out from that who we want to be lined up with. That's how we did it this time. My dispatch went ahead and sent me a list of people. I spent yesterday calling them, and this morning I called my number one choice. He's like, yeah, I already decided that we're going to be good together when you were first on the phone. So now we're just setting that up. He is still in training. He's just finishing up and is in Phoenix, Arizona right now. Realistically, I'm going to be down for another week, which really sucks because I can't afford it. I'm about out of money again, but I'd rather take that financial hit right now and wait and have a partner that I feel good about going into it than somebody that is just not going to work out, because then that just causes more problems for me in the future. So I'm going to wait. Right now I'm waiting on dispatch for a plan with some more specifics in it. I know it was a really long update, but that's it. Oh, and I'm wearing my hippie beanie, not because it's cold, but because I have a serious case of bedhead. So, peace, everybody. We'll talk later, and take care. Bye.